Hello, America! Blaze Guy Blaster here, and welcome back to another episode of What Did I Just Watch? The show where I talk about TV series, movies, and other media that make my jaw drop and wonder, what did I just watch? Lost media. I'm pretty sure you should know what that is. It's a very popular genre in the media community. For those who've been living under a rock the whole time, here's what it means. Any show, movie, or other social media that pretty much just went lost to time. So, either you could almost have what information of why it was or what happened. You could almost have almost no matter how hard you try, find maybe one or two minute-long videos. Or you can pretty much find nothing at all, except the memories. And today, I'm going to be jumping down the lost media rabbit hole into abandoned and some truly bizarre shows. A lost Sesame Street sketch called Cracks. And I'm not going to talk much about this one because I really don't have much to say about it since it was a 2-minute sketch. But it was about a kid who lived in a house full of cracks. So in it, she then imagines that there's a bunch of animals being formed by all these cracks. And she rides with them. Everything seems fine, but however, apparently, this sketch went missing for a long time because, it's called Cracks and the term. But that's not it. This came up because kids had nightmares of this, not only because of the depiction of the woman being almost completely homeless and poor because of the house. There was a certain thing that happened at the end. They go looking for another crack creature, and then they find this creepy, disfigured-looking face called Crack Master, who terrorizes the child and these crack animals before he pretty much destroys himself. Officially, we have our very first Sesame Street death. No, wait. Mr. Hooper and... No, actually, that makes 3 total people have died in the Sesame Street storyline. Whether it's a sketch or not, it's something I'm going to acknowledge. I'm just going to show you the sketch right now, because it's really not that long.
While laying in her bed, the cracks overhead more and more looked like a camel. Today's a rainy day and I can't go out and play. Would you take me for a ride, camel? Said the camel crack, climb upon my back. And right through the wall they did go. When out they came again, they were standing by Crack Hen. Hello to you, Miss Hen, meet my friend. Then went the 3 to wall where Crack Monkey lived, close by the attic door. Good day, good day, good day. I'm glad you came my way. And how has everybody been? We've all been fine. Meet a new friend of mine. She has come to meet crack creatures here. And this is all of you? Yes, now that you're here too. But perhaps not so, said Monkey Crack. At night behind the door, I think I've heard one more. Then let us all go make a new crack friend. So they happily skipped into where they'd never been, and in corner found a giant crack. Who are you, they said. The crack just growled instead and made himself look very big and mean. He said, I am Crack Master. But just then the wall plaster began to crumble to the floor, and where the monster stood were only beams of wood. He destroyed himself trying to be mean. Went each creature to his wall, and each knowing all was well where each crack lived. Camel, thank you for the ride. The rain has stopped outside. We'll go and see the cracks again someday.
This mystery went on for a few months, honestly. To the point where Blame It on George, a YouTuber, made like a 19-minute long video talking about the hunt. Now, let's get into the Clock Man. I'm not going to say much about the skit, but it was a lost Nickelodeon cartoon short from a series called Pinwheel. And for those who don't know, Pinwheel was pretty much a cartoon montage showing a bunch of these short, like maybe about 5-minute cartoon skits, with one of them being called Clockman. And this also was one that terrorized some kids. Because here's the concept. A girl loses shoes that her mother gave her. She begs some wizard man who's obsessed with time and clocks. Well, no, not that guy. To form her new shoes. The guy agrees on the condition that she tells her mother what happened to the real shoes. Of course she doesn't, because it's a kid show, so they have to lie so they can be taught a lesson. But no, instead of some like silly, ridiculous consequence like a nose grown or that.
But the wizard did not forget. He picked her up and carried her to his magic chamber.
The guy stalks her house, walks into her room in the middle of the night, abducts her, and then reprimands her for doing that, and then he's like, if you want to see your family again, you better sew up the sky, because I guess, like, for some... Okay, post at me, sorry, what actually happens that he still took her away. He says you have to sew some of these stars and put them in the sky, or else you'll have to keep coming back for me. He wasn't like, if you want to see your family again. No. Also, he made her some gloves, which also makes it even more ridiculous because you're flipped out about gloves. Really. But anyways, sorry for that, and back to the show. It would make sense if it was like just like a Nickelodeon like cartoon like SpongeBob, because then like yeah, they kind of add some of that. But no, like this was like Nickelodeon as in like for like kids, not like teen Nickelodeon. This was like Nick Jr. like Nickelodeon. Those things, I mean, hey, they made No Face from Spirited Away. Determined to spread the word of children grown up to become a martyr, and spreading anti-Semitic messages over all the episodes to grow up to commit suicide. What's that? You still saying that's okay? Okay. Say hello to my little friend. Want to go again? Okay, let me continue talking. But wait, it gets even worse. In the season 1 finale, Farfour's a group, I forget the name. It was from Palestine, and a group of people were determined, saying that Jews stole their land. Oh yeah, Jews are evil. So, the post-Hitler. Except they didn't do mass genocide. But anyways, they had a kids show called Tomorrow's Pioneers, featuring I believe a 5-year-old girl named Sarah, who would have a co-host, which was a gigantic Mickey Mouse reject. I mean, seriously, if you looked at this one image and had no context on it, you would assume, oh yeah, it was something from Disney World. They spread these anti-Semitic messages around the whole thing, But what made it worse is that they were putting in phone calls with children, like, no, not just, like, actor children, I'm pretty sure, but no, like, children that watched the show would call, and these are, like, very little children, like 5-year-olds, saying, I will grow up to become a martyr. And the reason I keep on making a point on the martyr is because it means they want to grow up as a suicide bomber. That's what it is. They bomb themselves in the name of something. They are encouraging kids to grow up to commit suicide. What's that? You still saying that's okay? Okay. Say hello to my little friend. Wanna go again? Okay, let me continue talking. But wait, it gets even worse. In the season 1 finale, Farfour's grandpa dies randomly. Gives Farfour a paper that says he claims ownership of the land, and then they have a Jew demand him that he gets the land back. Farfour calls him a terrorist and refuses, and don't know how they describe the Jew reacting. He comes over to him and beats him to death. With Sarah and then the episode saying, I'm proud that he did this because he was willing to stand for what's right, even in death. Which kids had to watch their favorite co-host get killed off. And of course Disney had a gigantic problem with it and sued them for that, but they still made the show. Season 2, Farfour's cousin, who is somehow a bee, and I do not want to know how that works, comes. Everything seems pretty basic, not too much. And then they die, and then they kill the co-host again. Instead, this time, the co-host died because she was very ill. Because I believe it's a he, I don't know. Because he got very ill, and they were like, it's because of you Jews. We went to Egypt to get some medical attention, and they wouldn't let us in because they're Jews. Jews won't let us in. And they kill him off. And it's even more jarring, because then the doctors rush to him and push on his chest to keep him breathing. And unlike the Farfour one, where it's like quiet as you see him beat up, and honestly a little bit hilarious. And I don't mean that in like some cynical, twisted way. I'm like, it really is shot in some funny form. But no, this one you have the over-the-dramatic Halo theme. And yeah, but wait, it gets worse. They have a full-on episode in season 3 dedicated to Sarah singing a song about kids growing up to martyr. And they add a bunny character who's also related to the freaking bee. And again, I don't want to know how this whole Farfour family relationship works. The bunny man has a full-on episode where he steals, but then they try to represent freaking Satan in it with a freaking dollar store skeleton mask. No, I'm not kidding. They use the store-bought skeleton mask to represent it, and I'm like, it just having him in the movie, in the show alone, is messed up. And then here's what they do: when a caller screams that he should be punished, here's what they say: first, I'm gonna chop off your ears, then your little fingers, and then I'll chop off your hands. And then she pulls out a pair of scissors and goes, snip, snip. Of course, he prays for forgiveness, and he's alive. Until season 3 ends, because the U.S. is like, okay, this show is just getting real messed up. We're gonna go boom, 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 boom. Of course, they give a warning, but no, they try to make a, the Jews in U.S. are pure evil. They bombed the studio.
Everything's coming up